Since the university announced in the weekend that we're going to be switching to spring break earlier 4 weeks than intended, and the second decision we've taken was to switch to online teaching as of next week for a period of 2 weeks. Of course, this whole decision is triggered in order to minimize as much as possible infection of the COVID-19 virus and to really basically flatten the curve is the term that is used broadly now in all universities and all the surrounding countries. So basically it's to delay and to slow down any spread of the virus possible. As a result of this decision, of course, there's a lot of impact on our operations. So the campus for 3 weeks, there will be minimal faculty presence on campus, minimal or very, very little. Student presence is not encouraged in those 3 weeks. We've also taken some measures in terms of limiting, I'm going to get to staff in a minute, but we've also taken a few measures. Number one, that events, all public events are cancelled until further notice. We've also taken the decision that any meetings, staff meetings, are discouraged, and up to a limit of 75 is the acceptable limit. We're also working hard to basically make sure that meeting spaces are well spread out. Hand sanitizers have been spread across all of the campus. Sanitizers are on the buses. So there's a lot of impact on on operations. We're trying as much as possible to also, in terms of cleaning and disinfecting, the frequency of daily surface cleaning and disinfecting, it's increased to a daily frequency. We're doing all kinds of measures to basically take as much precautions as we can on campus. In terms of trips and travel, we're also not encouraging travel abroad, and to limit as much as possible all university funded all university sponsored travel has been discontinued as of even a week earlier than the announcement to switch to spring break and online. So we're taking maximum precautions to basically protect all our community in the coming period. Staff is still present on campus. Operations are continuing. The campus is not declared closed, and therefore we are still, we still have our people on campus in terms of staff operations. We are working on some measures to basically make sure that we do have the right precautions in the coming period to deal with that. HR are working now on some guidelines of how to deal from a staff standpoint to basically make sure that the staff is also protected in the coming period, and we will be sharing more on that in the coming few days. In the coming period, we're working basically in order to protect our staff and to make sure that we don't have heavy presence on campus, especially in areas where there's a high number of employees, etc. We are now trying to work a plan whereby we have a skeleton staff on site. That means that jobs that can be done remotely, we're going to be introducing that option in order for people to still deliver their, let's say, mission critical work while not being on site. This is going to be done in order to protect the staff, basically. This may have a degree of impact on operations. However, for the sake of protecting the staff, we are going that route. Some, for example, of the project's work have to be rescheduled. Some of the things have to be reshuffled. However, we are currently in the phase of planning out that work and rescheduling some of the work that was due, for example. This week there's a lot of work going on from all different kinds of people involved within the task force, so HR, communications, ourselves as operations, digital transformation. We're all putting our heads together to basically come up with the best plan for the staff, and also to be able to carry on minimal operations on campus to an acceptable degree. That's basically on the plan in terms of staff. Now the big question is what happens beyond those 3 weeks. We do continue to monitor the situation daily. We've got Dr. Ashraf Hatem, our counselor, who's very much in touch with government, and we're in touch with what's happening in terms of number of cases in Egypt, and so we are very much alert. We have a small team that is monitoring that on a daily basis. We have daily meetings to be able to project each next step based on the data we have. So we do continue to monitor very closely. We hope that by April 5th, we're all back on campus again and the campus is fully open. However, we're not at a stage to confirm that, and we don't know how the situation will evolve. We may end up saying, we will have to continue with online for a few more weeks, or we may come to the conclusion that we're all comfortable enough to say that yes, we can reopen the campus. Campus is not closed now, but I mean reopen in terms of fully operational campus. That's as far as we can see. We're, as I said, we're working daily to monitor very carefully, and we're taking serious measures, and we're taking things seriously. We're not going to be, light in terms of taking or making a rash decision that jeopardizes any of our students, faculty or staff. That's basically the approach we're taking.